Good evening. It's August the 4th at 6 o'clock. Pardon me, at 6 o'clock. So we're going to have a utilities meeting, and we're going to be discussing the proposal of Lee X taking over a line. And I'm going to ask Jason to expound on it a little bit.
So our TTHM problem that we keep having keeps occurring. Our readings are coming through Poston School, which is the dead end of our line. Or 691 Kimberly Road intersect. Leax has a line right there. They're willing to take over and they're willing to take over and pay to incur all the costs to tie into our line and take it over from Kimberly Meadows Retirement Home to the end of the line. Kimberly Meadows, we get good readings, we get good samples there. They're willing to take it over. We've got a letter that you all have been given. If they in the letter it states that we'll get back our meters, and that if they can't get if they have a TTHM problem, they'll turn it back over to the city within 1 year. He was very confident that they won't have any problems with it. We'll lose somewhere between 20, 27 customers.
Okay. So that's what's giving the readings that we're getting when everybody gets the little cards that says you're out of this line.
Coming from out there.
It's coming, and you figure it is coming from out there, and Leax.
That is, the
Yeah.
samples are coming.
Because
from the end of the line.
it's not pushing.
There's not enough movement out there. Leax actually has a line, another line, 350 feet away, where they can tie into it at the end and make it a loop on their system to keep the water moving.
There you go.
So where they won't have a stagnant, just sitting water.
And that's what it needs, isn't it?
Yeah.
To move it,
Yeah.
because it's sitting.
And this is this was a recommendation from the EPA. If we don't do it and we continue to get high numbers, they're gonna make us do it. So we're better off, instead of upsetting the EPA, just go ahead and get on board and get ahead of the game.
I also noticed, and I don't know if you all noticed it or not, but they're going to, well, I forgot, I lost my train of thought. Isn't that terrible? I had a good thought too. I can tell you that much right now. Well, I think this sounds pretty good. If it solves that problem and we can get back into compliance, I think that's going to work out nice for the city, because the city is a little apprehensive when they receive those cards and they think, oh, I can't drink this water.
And it's only out there.
Yeah. Okay, so you had said something about Mr. Trawl may come over to the council.
He said he'll come to the council meeting and explain it to all council.
Good deal. I think that would be the course to do, to get that into the council. Then, I mean, what do you think?
Well, it's fine with me, but we gotta notify the customers out there about switching though.
Yeah, it won't be immediately, but this gets us, it makes the EPA happy. It's involved.
Okay.
And we'll notify them, and Leax will also notify them.
Yeah.
Now, are those customers gonna get an additional charge for converting over to Leax? Or is it gonna be a one-for-one swap out, no charge?
That was my point. In the letter, it says it could be less cost.
Their water's actually cheaper than ours.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I understand the end cost.
Yeah,
But I mean,
they're not getting billed for them getting switched over.
Okay, I just wanna make sure they're not getting billed for us taking their meter out and have Leax putting theirs in. Cause that's gonna be one of the questions, you know.
Yeah, there will be no bill for
Do you have anything on?
Nothing at all, I think I'm informed.
Okay, well, I think we can take that to the council.
That's gonna have to be done on a resolution, shouldn't it, or an ordinance?
I think it'd be a resolution, right? Our vice president's right there. What do you think?
I think it's probably gonna be an ordinance.
Yeah.
I think the important issue is that Lee accident with their board, they're on track. The utility committee is on track. You're gonna refer it to the city council.
Right,
And we'll refer it to Jonathan to do either a resolution or an ordinance.
whatever he thinks, right?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, should we notify the customers that we're going to make do this?
I wouldn't right now. It's,
But we are going to notify them that there's going to be a small switch and
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
it won't affect anything. There'll be some downtime when they take the pipes and stuff and move them. Yeah.
Their pressure actually will probably.
They have higher pressure.
They say they got 120 PSI.
We have much higher pressure out there.
Yeah. Wonder what ours is out there, do you know?
I think Jeff said it's around 85.
Oh, see, that's going to push it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to push it.
Yeah, because actually,
And where we tie over at the hydrant,
Mhm.
where we cut it off the hydrant at Kimberly Meadows,
Mhm.
they're actually gonna put in a flush hydrant right there,
Mhm.
like at the end of theirs. And he told us that'll always be available if the fire department needs extra pressure or something.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
So we'll actually have two hydrants for two systems. out there.
Yeah, especially,
It's a win-win situation for everybody, but before we could bring it to you, we didn't want to jump
sure.
we didn't want to jump the gun because LEAX had to go through their proper procedure and they're okay with it. And now the city of Nelsonville is going through our proper procedure. So yes, if the utility committee wants to refer it to full council, we'll get the legislation written up and get started.
Yeah, I think, as long as Jeff's gonna, or Mr. Charles gonna come and talk to the council and explain it to them, I would be for it.
I don't see any problems with it. See, now, it's not gonna cost us a thing.
So do we need to make a motion to move it to the whole council?
Yeah, yeah.
They'll-
Do we need to make a motion?
I would.
Okay. Do you wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion to take it before council.
Second.
Okay. So we'll take that before city council and at the next.
All in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say
Well, I
aye.
recommended, he said
There's only
okay.
three of us.
I mean, you can't get much more votes than that.
We need cards, colored cards.
Did either of our members, did you have any? questions?
No, you answered them.
Betty Jo, did you have anything?
No, thank you,
Okay.
John.
All right, so we've got that. And we're going to speak a little bit. Are you going to speak on storm sewers?
I am.
Okay, Mr.
Well,
Holmes, Mr. Holmes is going to speak on the condition of our storm sewers and possible getting them in shape.
Well, the condition of our storm sewers are horrible.
Okay,
I did check with the city of Logan. They've had a $3 surcharge. I think Mayor Fronteller said maybe over 20 years. And I know the village of Gloucester has it.
Gloucester has it, Lancaster has it.
Lancaster has it. So there's a lot of communities that have that $3 charge. We cannot use, and I gotta emphasize this, the water fund and the sewer fund are what we call proprietary funds. Is that correct? Enterprise funds. They can't be used for storm sewer. Water can only be used for water, sewer can only be used for
has
sewer.
to be designated.
Yeah, we got involved in it 20 years ago when we were short on funds for the fire department. They wanted to transfer funds over, or when we actually did away with the dispatch center. You can't do that. You can't the state won't allow you to do that.
Can't rob the Peter, pay Paul.
Not these two Peters involved, you can't, no. So the only way that we have money is if we put funds aside. Now, and this is gonna be up to the utility committee to make a recommendation to full council. You've got several different options. You can recommend no surcharge. But if you recommend no surcharge, then we are not putting any money away to work on the storm sewer. You can recommend a $3 surcharge. You can recommend a $1 surcharge, which doesn't give you a lot of money, but it gets you started. So, this is my presentation, we need funds. So if you wanna do $1 this year per month and $1.25 next year, it's gonna take you a long time to get it. That may be better for, that is not my decision, that is your decision. But we need to start putting something away for storm sewer.
Is there any grants available for storm?
Water, not stormwater, but sewer, no. That's why these other communities are putting money aside. There is no grants for stormwater. And unfortunately, it's not getting any better, it's getting worse. So I would encourage you to start somewhere. You know, just start somewhere, okay? And that's my report. Do you have any questions?
And you did say that was $3 a month.
$3 a month per resident.
Is that related to these?
No, it is not.
Oh, okay.
I don't,
No.
pretty sure that has nothing to do with that.
I was just wondering.
No, it's a totally
No,
separate deal.
storm is just rainwater, these here go to the regular water.
I was looking at some numbers going up in front of me as well, so
Yeah, I
I was
know.
making sure they were.
We don't get normal rain anymore. What we get in 45 minutes now, we used to get in a soaking 12-hour day.
That's true.
And now we get it all in 45 minutes and there's nowhere.
And
for it to
sometimes
go.
twice a day, that same rain.
Yeah, there's just nowhere for it to go. There's just-
You and I had briefly spoke about this, I was thinking to split the $3 first, to $1.50. See how that works, maybe for the first year.
Yeah, that is strictly up to the committee, but I think
What you think?
it's a start.
Well, yeah, I mean, we gotta do something, with the findings,
They definitely gotta be fixed.
but,
because-
cause then you worked on that.
Yeah,
And here's one way you can look at it. How many bills go out? About 2,400 a month. So, I mean, if you did $1.50 and there was $3,000 a month,
yeah.
it would go into a fund.
Yeah.
And, you know, Scott, when he was city manager, roughly 4.5, 5 years ago, brought this council and it was turned down. If we would have done it then, today we would have the money to work on storm sewers.
I will. That's just for the sake of discussion. Let's say you started out at $1.50. And the following year you went from $1.50 to $1.75. And then the following year you went
Yeah.
to $2.
Yeah.
That might be easier to swallow. It'll take longer, but,
I mean,
Yes, sir.
with everything else happening, we're putting a lot of impact on the citizens right now with different charges.
well, that's why,
Yeah.
that, you are the decision makers right here. It's
But
gonna be your
without this,
recommendation.
without this, there's nothing we can do with storm sewers.
I think this is pretty imperative.
But I would say 0 is. not-
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you on 0.
What did you?
I was just gonna say that the stepping it up in grades sounds really good because it's going to hurt less. It's also going to do less. You know what I mean? We're dealing with like heavy downpours.
Right.
They require decisive action. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of increasing with it 2,000, I'm not even gonna do the math on the quarter a year at 2,400 or whatever. It's nothing it seems like money, but it's not in comparison to the problem. You know what I mean? Like truthfully and honestly, we're not gonna have money in comparison to the problem for like 5 years under a maximalist position under this plan.
Right.
So I think we probably gotta just rip the Band-Aid off and go for what we need and not what we wanna feel like. We probably need to go above $1.50 at the start, just so we can get this money put away. Like it's fiscally probably what has to happen, as good as it sounds,
Right.
to wait
When you think about it, $3 is only 36.
a year.
Yeah, a year, $36 a year.
It's not very much to not have your streets have water run down the middle of them, truthfully. Like as far as a dollar value, what's Netflix cost a year? 14 times 12. It's in the two, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not joking, like for bang for your buck, it doesn't get better than being
That's a
able
good
to like
point, Cameron.
walk your street.
Yes, Jen.
As a citizen, I totally agree. I think
Yeah.
every year, if it goes up a quarter, if it goes up a quarter, that's annoying. Get the money that you need to take care of the problem and keep it there.
The only thing we're thinking about, I know, Mr. Lawson is thinking about it, is the impact to the citizens. And like I say, $3 is $36 a year.
But like Cameron said, Netflix is $14 a month.
That's right.
Like
Well,
me
cup
and
of
Fred,
coffee.
like me and Fred were talking today, how many of us can walk into a gas station, a convenience store gas station, walk out and spend $45?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you get home and you got a couple of pops and a bag of chips and not much more to show.
I guess the direct input to the citizens won't be felt, but they'll be charged the $3. But the overall,
It's gonna take a couple of years to
Yes.
get the money, but then once it's there, then the
Yes.
money's there to start all this storm sewer
That's
work that it needs done.
yeah, that's right.
And maybe we could get a loan against, compared to what maybe once we have some money in the bank, then we can get a loan with what we have to go and do as much work as possible at one time, so it's dealt with. You know what I mean?
Well, I have a question. Now,
Oh,
will
yes.
this $3 be per meter or will it be per unit? Because we do have some meters have like 2 or 3 units.
Oh, that's a good point, because
Because each meter, if they have like 3 units, then they're gonna be a minimum bill times 3.
so if they have 3 units and 1 meter, is that what you're saying?
Like some triplexes run off of one.
I have a duplex that way, yeah,
Probably the more fair way, because like,
per meter.
well, the same way, because so like, to Robert's point, if you do have a triplex that's on 1 meter, you're paying minimal bill times 3 on that meter. So if you just pay $3 versus $9, you know, that would be, I think it should be tied probably more to each minimal bill, if you will. So each unit, I think, seems probably the most fair.
So you're saying not per meter, but per unit,
Per unit.
that's what you're saying?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
that's
because
the,
like your duplex, it would come down to it's $1.50 per unit instead of the $3.
That would,
Now,
that would be per meter.
are those units billed individually or just one bill?
They're one bill for 3 units.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, we're gonna add it to the water bill, so
So in other words,
That'd
it
be $9.
would be,
$9.
well, I don't know, you said you got 1 meter. So that would be 1 bill going in, right?
right?
So
Then you have 3.
that's
units.
what we're gonna add it to, is the 1 meter, the 1 bill. So it'd be basically per bill, wouldn't it?
Per
Does he,
meter.
I mean, I don't know, the way it's set up now is, if you got a triplex and it's 1 meter, you're paying 3 minimums, not 1
Your
minimum.
minimum is 21.35, you're paying that times. So if you're gonna put $3 for sewer, wastewater, then you're gonna times it by 3. Then it'll be $9.
but your 3 units is basically, the 1 bill goes to the 1 individual, okay? So,
Well,
the
then-
1 individual or the owner, why is he paying 3 times for sewage or for storm, when there's only 1 unit?
Right, I understand what you're saying, but like, for instance, say, Reynoldsburg, they do it by square footage of your roof. So if you have 1 unit, the square footage of your house may be less than if you had a triplex, right? So all I'm saying is if you did it based on square footage of your roof, the triplex is gonna pay more. So I'm just saying like that, just to me seems to be, because then you've got multiple tenants, right? Which you figure that's gonna cause probably more, runoff. So my personal opinion is probably more fair to be per unit versus.
Well, if they pay the minimum per unit, it almost seems to me that you would put 3 on each minimum.
Per unit, because that
So
would
in other
be-
words, raise the minimum up.
That would be like,
Well, it'll be a separate line item on your water bill.
Oh, okay.
I'd say purpose.
Which one? Victorian.
So Victorian Village, each building has 1 meter. look at the size of those buildings. So is it right that that building pays the same thing you pay? Or if it was done the way he said,
Right.
that's gonna be a whole lot more than what,
Well, you mean square footage of the roof?
yeah.
Because of the runoff of the roof, it has to take, the storm sewers had to take that runoff of that big roof rather than a small house.
Right, and there are some units that has two houses, one unit.
I think we ought to make people have a meter. That's kind of confusing.
That's your guys' decision.
Yeah, well, that was just on my part. I checked into having another meter put in because I paid the two minimums. And then they pay the water bill.
You pay for the trash.
And I pay, yeah, so what I'd have to do is pay $6 on that, which those things can be passed on. You know, they can be another $5, you know, and that takes care of the unit, you know, or whatever, so.
So the only other thing I was gonna suggest too, so Mr. Peck's point, I spoke with, Michael Best from BLC, and he said that if we do build up our coffers a little bit with some funds, there's not necessarily grants for, storm sewer, but we can use it towards other, loans and programs that are out there that you can use that as match money to qualify for additional money for
Oh,
projects. So,
And Michael Beth also said there's very limited amount of things that would match money out there for storm sewers.
So if we started, maybe in a year, we could come up with some, yeah,
and we could always appropriate, we could always put in for next year's budget, we could always create money for a storm sewer line item.
right,
Put a little bit of money in there initially while we're collecting.
that's it. You like it?
Yes, ma'am?
I've got two thoughts. The roof square footage, what happens if you have a triplex that's top to bottom and the square footage is for the roof is the same for all? And that's just a consideration. And then what happens if you have a triplex and only one of the units is rented for the whole year and two aren't and they're vacant, you still charge the minimum? I'm just.
It would just be one minimum, right?
Even if it's vacant, you still, the meter's there in the pit, it's still charged the minimum bill. Whether you use water or not.
Yep.
So if that house set, if you have one house, one occupant, or, well,
Or even
one family, it sits there for a year, you're still paying the 21.
I got a property right now that we don't even have a house on, that I'm paying 25 a month water bill. So I don't think it's,
Okay, well,
Can I make one comment?
go right ahead, Mr. Holmes. We're running a little short on time.
Just had a thought, but if the citizens put that money away at the end of the year when we do our budget, would it be nice if the city did a match? A one-to-one match? They put away 10,000, the city matched that 10,000?
yes.
Isn't that kind of the city putting some skin in the game?
Well, yeah, because the whole idea on here is each person puts in $3 and then they're not dealing with their portion of the rainwater. So if the city would match, that would be in-kind gesture.
Yeah, just a suggestion, but it might.
Or we could do a buck and a half and then match it $1.50 to $3, take us to the 3. But this sounds like it's more of an emergency type thing.
Emergency, we need to get.
Yeah, okay, that's the thought, we can take that to council.
Or,
That'll work?
I'm with that.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to move forward with the storm sewer fee, take it to full council.
Yes. Second, okay, we gotta, all in favor? Aye. Yes, Betty, Jeff.
I just, because I travel with people who talk a lot. It's so important when you present this to the city residents that you do it thoroughly, because if not, they're gonna run around and say, I'm paying more, you're paying by, they're cheating us, whatever. Just make sure that the words you use, you're gonna be able to stand by. The information, when I say words, I mean that information.
Yeah.
well, we're gonna get slammed about it anyhow because we're raising the water bill again. That's the water bill.
Only until the
He's kidding.
first time we get thanked for there not being a flood on Poplar Street.
Poplar,
Which is the
Chestnut,
ultimate,
Well,
which is the ultimate goal.
my only question is down there on Chestnut and on Poplar where they paved it is higher. Is there any way we can cut a little drainage alongside the curb to take that down to the manhole?
it's all covered, but I mean, I'm just not saying that it's gonna follow it, because the way it's flooding on Poplar right now, it's going away from the drain. So it's going to the middle of the block and holding, Tiffany Mace's house, and it's coming clear up towards the porch, but she's in the middle of the block, and it's like this, and the drains are up here.
Why is that?
So,
Is it,
Paving the road.
is it asphalt built up or what?
well, there's a lot of asphalt built on that.
Yeah, I know there is. I know there is.
I mean, the last time they paved it, they didn't have enough money to do the sides, so they just went. down the middle.
Exactly, yeah, and that was just a skim coat, wasn't it?
That was before I was here.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can drive down through there and see, because you go to your manholes, you got some of them that is about that deep, and you got some of them about that deep, yeah.
Robert, do you want to talk on this? This is a, service fee increase.
The last time we had any type of fee increase, at least 6-7 years ago. I spoke with Jason Taylor about these, and several of these fees really need to have an increase. The ones that we really are picking on is the street bond. Street bond right now is $2,000 street bond, and if the city would have to cover the cost to repair a street after somebody dug it up, this would not cover it,
The street bond would not be covered for $2,000.
not for 2,000.
Okay.
The sewer tap, it used to be $200, and we'd like to have it raised to at least $1,000 because, all the manpower, the equipment and parts,
$1,000 still puts us behind every one of those.
all these are still good. The water taps, the 3/4 and the 1 inch, they haven't been raised since 6-7 years. And with the cost, increasing cost of parts, including with copper and, the other stuff,
Brass.
brass,
That doesn't cover.
we'd like to see those increase. Testing water meters, used to be $160. And with the new company that we have with the new meters, it has increased to at least $250. After our call out, it used to be $150. And with the increase in, pay with the crew and the cost of using city equipment and stuff, we'd like to see that raised.
Those call-outs are a minimum of 3 hours. For the union contract.
Oh, is that right? $150 an hour.
Well,
And you want to raise, we want to raise it too. Would that be in the contract?
no, the utility guys, their contract says they get a minimum of 3 hours on their call-out. So if there's something, an after-hours shut off, we're paying 3 hours if it takes them 5 minutes to come in here and shut it off. Because of the way the contract's written. So what we charge doesn't cover the truck, the tires on the truck, the oil change, the gas, and covering the guys who go out there for 3 hours.
Gotcha.
For new water customers, we like to keep it at, $50. But the only thing that we'd like to see changed on that, if somebody would move from, let's say, 770 Poplar Street to 970 Walnut Street, their service fee will transfer instead of asking for another $50. The other one is the temporary disconnection. It used to be $250 to have it turned off, so they will not generate a minimum bill. We'd like to see that increase as well, to $350, and to get it turned back on is $500 from $350.
Where am I? I don't see it.
That's down.
Oh, down here. Oh, I got it. Okay, gotcha.
Now, the NSFE, I mean, it can stay at 30, but we would like to see it raised to 35. And I believe Taylor says it has to go through council.
So the non-sufficient fund?
Yeah.
You wanna-
That's the NSD for invoice cloud, that's the credit card and the return check. Now, the other ones, the, have the water turned on and off,
Mhm,
sewer checks and stuff,
mhm.
that's just going to increase for about $10. We
Um,
tried to do this, what was it,
A couple of years ago.
about last year, we were trying to get it. through
Yeah, I think
council.
last year.
Yeah, and it didn't get to go through council, I think it was forgotten,
And it didn't get to go through council because what?
it was forgotten.
Forgotten? You mean that the committee sent it, was supposed
It
to
was
send it,
actually supposed to have been sent. to
but no one,
council.
and then were those brought up?
I'm not,
We discussed it in committee, I remember.
Well, I don't know. I think I kind of went, well,
I think we kind of, like, I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but I think we're gonna have to hear more about it so we can explain it.
That's what I was gonna
We are gonna get
that's what,
hosed on this.
that's what I was gonna say. I'd like to research it a little bit.
Yeah, I want to at least be able to explain some of it, I'm not even being funny.
Yeah, we'll, let us research, that's the committee research that on our own.
Should we move it up to the full council so that we can all discuss it as a whole?
Can we do it? Can we do it? Yeah, yeah, let's.
I'd like to make a motion to move the increased utility committee or the utility fees to full council for discussion.
I'll second
Okay, we have a vote? Yes?
Aye.
it. Yes.
Okay. So we'll move that up and let council discuss this problem, or this issue, not problem. All right, so our time's up. It is, I've got 6:35, what you got?
Yep, 6:33 according to the.
6:33, we're gonna end this, council utility meeting for August the 4th.